if ever there was a cram-packed loaded show, Ben, this is the one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It is. We've got the director of Good Boy, Ben Leonberg, on the show.
We do. It's Jarret's PE class.
I know. We've got a movie battle that is Poolhall Junkies versus Stickmen.
Battle of the Pool Cues. And we're covering the best of 2013.
It is fucking stacked. Hey all, how's it going? Thank you for hitting play. You are, of course, here at Good Movie Monday. We like to say it's the home of your nerdy cinematic ramblings. I'm Glenn Cochran. This guy is Ben Hellwig. And here to do it again, another week, hour and a half or so of quality content, Ben.
Yep. We try to keep it to a tight 30. Hasn't ever happened.
Nope.
Never happened.
No. Once upon a time, that was the promise of the show. A tight 30.
Yeah.
One of the segments might be a tight 30. If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Social media, don't forget to go to goodmoviemonday.com. From there, you can go to our Facebook, our YouTube, our TikTok, every one of our social platforms. We're on them. We're on them all, even the new one. What did I say that was called again? I forgot. Lemonade.
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 Which to me just sounds like something to do with, milk lemonade around the corner, chocolate's made type type sitch.
Yeah, hard to believe it's October already as well.
Don't remind me.
The spooky season is upon us. Monster Fest is underway. It is a time for all things horror, which is good timing considering we've got the director of Good Boy on the show, which we'll talk about that.
Which also started in cinemas last Thursday.
Yeah, so we'll talk more at length about that. So if you're here for that, some good chat to be had. I've got some movie news for you, Ben. This actually, it's probably a week too late, but after we did the last week's show, I read this shortly after. Did you know there's a sequel to The Social Network coming?
I did hear that.
Yeah, I found this fascinating. It's going to be directed by Aaron Sorkin, who wrote the original Social Network, and this one is called The Social Reckoning. So, interesting title, and it's got Jeremy Allen White, Mikey Madison, Bill Burr, and Jeremy Strong are announced.
Yeah, I haven't looked. I heard that it was coming out. For the life of me, have no idea what it could possibly be.
I've got a hunch.
About?
Surely it's about the control that Facebook has, particularly with government, interfering. You remember when COVID came along and the government was pulling strings on what got posted and what didn't get posted as far as vaccinations. I reckon it's going to be about that.
It's one of those things.
The time is right.
That could be interesting. But how do you make... I mean, look, when the first one came out, the first question everyone asked was, how are you going to make a Facebook movie? That's dumb. It was like, thinking that it was going to be like Battleships or something like that, where they're like, oh no, you play a wave. And
you're a poke.
You're a poke. You're like, I don't understand. And then, but is this going to be a civil action type, boardrooms and courtrooms kind of?
I definitely think it's going to be very political.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be fascinating to watch. Anyway, we don't really bring movie news to the show much anymore like we used to.
No, look, movie news I found is a lot of podcasts used to start with news and then they realised that...
Dates the show?
Yeah. and things happen so fast on the internet.
Yeah.
That if we're doing a daily show...
Yeah.
Totally, we could do it. If we're doing even a weekly show...
But even a daily show, it's not like you can just go back and skim through all the past episodes and because it's just irrelevant.
Oh, wow, Nixon was president when this when that episode went out.
What was it? They put man on the moon? I'd never.
Who would have thunk it? Yeah.
Awesome. So I thought, given that we've got both an interview and Jarret's segment, which is a double loader for this particular episode, maybe we'll just jump straight into Jarret's bit and push on with the show, keep it as close to that 30 minutes as we can.
On your head be it. You weren't there for the segment, so
I'm yet to edit it too.
Good luck.
Physical media is very important, kids. One day, maybe the cloud ain't there. How are you going to watch Dogma?
Being able to hold it in your hand and see the artwork and the posters and have the names, it's a real thing.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
The coach is back. That's right. Jarret Gahan here again, once more for PE class, your monthly roundup of all things physical. How's it going, mate?
Good, man. Good. I've just been sniffing the socks in the locker room and they're smelling magnificent, like foot odor. Beautiful, beautiful. No,
Lovely
good,
yeasty
good, mate.
smell.
My good man. We're right in the midst of obviously Melbourne Monster Fest at the moment. So I'm looking a little disheveled, but that's just because we've been hard at it watching countless films that we've already seen, or some that we've actually never seen on the big screen. Case in point being Slithus, which was a true treat to see on the big screen.
Yeah. Look, I withheld watching it once that name was bandied about during the programming meetings. I was like, "No, I'll just watch it at Monster Fest."
Perfect. Yeah. Now I'm really keen to see if they could actually do a remake, a modern remake of it. But perhaps the Slithus could be taking some cues from the humanoids from the deep, and possibly struggle cuddling some victims. But
Yeah.
we'll make them men, so it's okay.
It needs to be, yeah,
I'm
it needs to
all
be
that.
like Alien, kind of where they can impregnate anything.
Yeah, totally,
You know,
totally. But yeah, no, that I think that could be that it could play as a pretty funny comedy, and they could get Emma Thompson back to reprise her role from Junior, which would be pretty good. She could be studying the pregnant males. But anyway, I digress. This week, Benjamin, look, this week's probably the biggest week of the month for home entertainment releases. And I'm going to do it like I did it last month, where I broke them down into what I title newies and what I also dubbed classics. So I'll start with the newies, and there's a lot of newies coming out this week. The bulk of newies are coming out this week. The big, big, heavy hitter titles. I've got Superman coming out, the new James Gunn Superman, which I still haven't seen, but I was told by your fine self that it wasn't bad.
it
But I
was.
think that was sort of yeah.
That's my. I
Was
seem
it
to
was
be
it better?
alone.
You said it was better than Superman Begins, though. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
seem to
Well.
be alone in that review. Everyone seems to like this Superman, like love it, like.
Right. Right.
Whereas
Okay.
I
Well,
was
I might.
just,
Not super sold on it. No. I look.
no.
I am keen to see it. I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably get around to it eventually. At the moment, we can't really watch films with loud volumes in the house. Which because watching something like Superman, you want to have the volume up a little. But with a 6-month-old, it's kind of impossible. We basically watch everything with subtitles, and I can't see the point of watching something like Superman with
Without it.
subtitles,
You're gonna ha-
especially if I've got to put the closed caption on where it's like loud sound or
you're gonna have to get yourself some 5.1 cans.
I'm thinking of getting the Bluetooth headphones, yeah, like the
Yeah.
Atmos headphones, so I can get kind of the experience. Yeah, it could very well happen because I don't know how long we're going to be in this sort of period of not being able to watch loud movies. So yeah, I think I've said it to you before. I've been watching a lot of British crime and drama because yeah, they get the right mix. All the
Yeah.
dialogues at the right level, which is pretty good on an 8 with subtitles. So if you do miss something, particularly if you've got a Welsh character in there, I'm like, hang on, what was that? Was that in English? To go back, but yes, so Superman is out. It's on all the formats: 4K, Blu-ray, DVD. Of course, the 4K has Atmos, as does the Blu-ray. And it's a Warner Roadshow title, so generally they always carry the Atmos over to the Blu-ray. Also, Jurassic World Rebirth. I was shocked that this one was already coming out at home entertainment, but I guess it has been out there for a few months.
Mm.
Yeah, I have no interest in watching this movie, in all honesty. Like, I didn't watch the last Jurassic World, and I thought they were just going to reboot the entire thing, but this is just another extension of the Jurassic World
Like
franchise.
I've seen half of it, and I
Okay.
enjoyed the half that I saw.
Okay. Well,
Except for Scarlett Johansson, she was kind of, it's another one of those ones where they get these, and as good as she was as Black Widow, they get these kind of attractive actresses and they try to play these kind of hardcore like soldier types, and you're just not really pulling it
you're not
off.
really
Like
buying it. No.
you would have been better off as
No.
a kind of a Laura Dern type character, just with the smarts. But
Makes sense. Yeah.
all that aside, the rest of it was pretty good. And there's a lot of water stuff in the first half, which I enjoyed. I like the water dinosaurs.
Okay. Oh well, look, I'm not totally against it. There's a chance that I may watch it if there's a long plane ride coming up. It might be the perfect
Yeah, definitely.
antidote to getting
Yeah.
some sleep on the plane. 28 Years Later is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Of course, the third installment. I don't even know. Like, is it the third installment or was technically the second installment? Do we pretend that 28 weeks later didn't happen? I'm not entirely sure because they don't really address that in this, and it's just sort of like that unspoken
I don't
thing. But
know.
I didn't. It was okay. Like, I wasn't super thrilled by this movie. I thought it was fine. I'd definitely watch it again, but probably, in hopes that this Bone Temple's going to be thoroughly amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
bring
that
it
one.
back.
It was
I
very
think it's
much
Mia
like
Costa that's directed it too. The director that did the Candyman reboot, which was really, really good.
Okay.
Who's done this Bone Temple?
I feel like this 28 years later was much more of a. Have you seen that Tales from the Walking Dead show where it's each episode is like it's like an anthology kind of thing, a different tale in that world? Because really, if it it should just be that kind of Cillian Murphy, and I can't remember her name. His offsider in it, and the daughter running around doing stuff like that would be for me the perfect 28 years later. Like they're just kind of arthritic and
I'd rather follow that road down there. But 28 years later, I'm curious to see where the Bone Temple will take us because obviously it 28 years later ended on a kind of odd note, and so that's the lead in for the Bone Temple. So
I will say
to sort of see where it leads.
It's the most I've liked Ralph Fiennes in a very long time.
Yeah, I admittedly have not seen him in anything for quite some time because for a point in time he was just making films with the director that did the Suspiria reboot, Luca.
Oh,
I know he did a bigger splash and did a
he was in Kingsman.
Oh no, he was good in that. Yes, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, moving on from that, the last one I do want to mention is F1, which I'm pretty sure when this was released theatrically, it was just called F1, right?
Yes.
But on the home entertainment
F1 the
they're
movie.
calling it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's written as on the home entertainment artwork. And I thought when I saw the trailers and everything, it was just called F1, but it's felt like they'd need to distinguish it on home entertainment and add the movie to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess.
Did you see this one?
I did see this one. I saw this one. I think I saw it at IMAX. Although I'm an old man and can't remember things, but I did see it. Yeah. I did see it theatrically. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was a lot of fun.
See, another one I really want to see, but this also strikes me as the kind of film that I probably don't want to watch just with subtitles. It's going to probably diminish my enjoyment of the movie, so I'll probably have to wait it out for a little longer. But I am very keen to see it.
I mean, I can give you a preview of the sound, though. It's just
excellent. Sometimes I've got very good at being the master of the remote, of being able to quickly turn it down when I can tell like it's about to get loud and then turn it back up when it gets soft again. But that film sounds like it's dangerously unpredictable, like it's super suspenseful. Like I'll be sitting there like shaking with the remote.
Yeah, I think you have to have the Formula One, like put it on the like one of the sports channels and have that all day. So then Rory it's just become like a train in the background.
Yeah, it's white noise. It's white noise. Well, that one's coming out on 4K Blu-ray and DVD, so all the formats. Look forward to checking that one out. Another newie that's actually owning its own week. It's coming out next week, October 15th, is the new Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which I believe I thought originally it was going to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2, but it's just Final Reckoning. Makes a lot of sense. I guess it's better to distinguish as its own thing. Again, haven't seen this one, Ben, and I am a huge Tom Cruise fan, as you know, and a moderate fan of the Mission Impossible franchise, but I am looking forward to checking this one out. But I know, and I do have it on the shelf over there, I do have Dead Reckoning, the first one of this sort of two-parter. I would have to rewatch that because I have no idea what happened in that movie at all. Could have been to do with falling asleep for about 20 minutes. The seats were very comfortable when I saw it theatrically.
I do find with the Mission Impossible movies that thoroughly enjoyable spectacle when you're watching it, but then afterwards I couldn't tell you any of the specific plot points of any of the films, except kind of the first one.
Maybe just one key moment. Oh, is that the one where he jumps out of the plane? Is that one where he rides the motorbike into the sky? Yeah. Is that the one where he's on a motorbike?
Which is the one that Cavill does his arms like
Oh
like a
yeah,
cocking gun. That one, I remember that
yeah,
one.
total.
But can you recite the Mission Impossible oath? No, because you haven't seen the film. Once you've seen the
No.
film, you will be able to recite the oath because they
Oh,
repeat it
excellent.
that many times.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, well, I'll look forward to that. And particularly if I'm watching with subtitles, because I'll be able to extra absorb it.
Yeah.
But that one's only its own week. That's the only newie that's coming out this week. Then moving on to another newie that's coming out next week, October 22nd. Actually, we've got a few. October 22nd is probably the second biggest month of newies this month because we've got I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is coming out 4K Blu-ray and DVD. And we've got, oh no, I missed one. Sorry, Benjamin. Last week, it turns out Mission Impossible doesn't own the entire week because we've also got Dangerous Animals, which is coming out surprisingly locally on 4K Blu-ray and DVD. So Kismet and Madman are doing a 4K for it, which is amazing. Like I was blown away by that. But yes, that's coming out the same week as Mission Impossible. So actually, October 22nd, there are two horror films that are coming out, two newies. The aforementioned I Know What You Did Last Summer that's coming out in all the formats. And then Sony's releasing Bring Her Back on Blu-ray and DVD. No 4K for this one, which is kind of a shock. We're getting Dangerous Animals on 4K from Madman and Kismet, but Sony aren't giving Guernsey to Bring Her Back for 4K, which is a shame. It has got a 4K in the US, which is available on a retail level. A24 have done it. Sometimes A24 will hold back the 4K and do it through their own website, which pains me because their shipping is outrageous. I had to get the Heretic 4K via them, and it cost me a small fortune. I think I paid almost as much for the shipping as I did for the actual title itself. So it was actually criminal. But so only Blu-ray and DVD for that, which is a damn shame because I think it's one of the best films of the year. And I don't see it being revisited anytime soon locally. Though it may be sub-licensed overseas and put out in a beautiful boutique. I could see that being something that Second Sight might do down the track.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know what, in terms of special features, have been ported for this Blu-ray and DVD release locally comparatively with the A24 one. Because the A24 one's pretty hefty. It's a pretty nice release. But that's all the newies that are coming out this month that I've chosen to mention. There's a few others. Actually, Materialists is coming out. Selena Song's new film, which I didn't mind. It was fine. It wasn't a patch on past lives. But that's only Blu-ray and DVD. And I think it might even be October 22nd, but I'm just saying that off the top of my head because I wasn't even going to mention it. But let's move on to the most important stuff, Ben, the stuff that brings a smile to both our faces. The classics. What classics are coming to 4K Ultra HD this month? Well, this week is a bit of a bonanza for genre fans because we've got the Nightmare on Elm Street collection coming out on 4K locally and super affordable price point. I think it's retailing for under $150 locally, which is super cheap considering you are getting 7 films. Nightmares 1 through 7, 7 being New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It is just a 4K only set. You don't get the Blu-rays with it, but that's fine because they put all the special features on the 4Ks. There's even multiple cuts of the films. One, you've got the theatrical and the uncut home video uncut version. And number 5, it's like the debut of the uncut version of The Dream Child on any disc format because they never did the uncut one from memory. No, they didn't do it on DVD, and they certainly didn't do it on Blu-ray. So I haven't seen it since the old first release home video that came back out, 1990 or so. So anyway, that one's out, and that one's got Atmos in each one of the films. I really can't wait to get a hold of this one. Admittedly, I did hold back on pre-ordering it because the funds, practically zero these days. They're being allocated toward baby funds. So I really have to, I have to work as to how I'm going to do that. And sometimes often it means getting rid of something else from the collection to make room for something new.
Your side hustle needs a side hustle.
Oh, it totally does. It so does. But God, yeah, but I'm very keen to add that one to the collection. Also out this week on 4K, another genre title, The Conjuring, which is odd that it's getting a release this week because, the last one, Last Rites, came out last month. So you think they might have kind of released it to time with that. But no, they didn't. They didn't even bother putting an Atmos track on this. It's got the existing Blu-ray DTS HD 5.1 track, which kind of
gross,
insulting. Like The Conjuring of all films needs an Atmos track. It just blows my mind that it doesn't. They have added 2 new featurettes. It's got 5 featurettes on it, 3 archival ones and 2 new featurettes. So that's at least they've gone to a little bit of effort with it for a studio release. And look, it's a great price. It's retailing like for under $25. So look, if you can get a catalog title on 4K for under $25, I think that's kind of forgivable in that regard.
Yeah.
And then also coming out this week, I think it's 100% it's this week. Imprint are releasing Wolf Creek on 4K. Now they've obviously released Wolf Creek before on Blu-ray in a 2-disc edition that had the uncut and theatrical version and all the archival special features. Well, now they're releasing this 3-disc set in a rigid box, and it's got the uncut version in 4K. But guess what? It's got Atmos. Got Atmos. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
I tell you what, look,
Warner, no.
I don't mind the old imprint upgrade. Like it was a couple of years ago that I bought the Blu-ray, but I'll take the 4K. That's
likewise,
fine.
And I'll take it. And I'm glad, because so often with the studio releases and even some of the boutique labels overseas is they'll be doing, a 4K release of the theatrical cut, and then say the Blu-ray will have the uncut or the unrated or whatever they want to call it, extended cut. And sometimes it's because that cut has only been prepared for, say Blu-ray once upon a time, or DVD. But the fact that you've got Imprint doing that superior version of the film on 4K makes me happy, because look, I think more often than not, unless it's Ridley Scott, because there could be argument that some of the director's cuts may not be the preferred cut that you want on 4K. In the instance of Ridley Scott, I think he's just got to present all his cuts on the 4K. On that note, have you got Kingdom of Heaven yet, Ben?
No, I haven't. No.
No. Well, that's okay. Look, like I said, I've seen the Steelbook reappear. The Steelbook's popped back up on all the major retailers again. So, there's no real sense of FOMO in this day and age. When it comes to the majors, like at the moment, there's a big panic on the internet because Night of the Living Dead, the Savini Night of the Living Dead's just got a beautiful, I think might be a 3-disc release. Yeah, 3-disc release in the US through Sony and in the UK. Yeah, it's got an all-new uncut version of the film that has never seen the light of day prior to this particular release. But Sony's done the 4K, 2 4Ks, one with the theatrical, one with the uncut version, and then a Blu-ray component that's got both of those. They've got new special features archive. They've really done a wonderful job, and it's in a beautiful steelbook, but they kind of underbaked how much demand there was for it. So this thing pretty much sold out on pre-order, and none of it was making store shelves, and certainly didn't make a lot of the local, not the local Amazon, but Sony seeing the demand and not having really said it was limited, repressing it, and it's going to be back out there again in November. So I was a little bit like, oh no, look, I have missed out. I should have pulled the trigger. I didn't. And I was a bit broken because I really like Savini's remake. But they are making more. So yeah, this is exactly what's happened with the Kingdom of Heaven. Suddenly, what? It's sold out. But
and then it's
really
back in.
It's only the boutiques. It's only the boutiques you really got to worry about.
Yeah. And look, there's always
what they do.
They've only got it for 5 years. Any boutique, even the boutique label, they only have it for 5 years, and then somebody else would just release it. So you never really
100%. We're seeing that happen. Like, look at Beastmaster, for instance. Vinegar Syndrome had it out, 3-disc set, went out of print, and now Scream Factory's just released a 3-disc edition of it in the US, which is basically just a carbon copy of the Vinegar Syndrome edition as well. But yeah, if the title's popular and there's still demand for it, someone's going to reissue it and release it. Hopefully you're not picking up any of the screaming in the background. I assure you it's all above board.
No, I'm not. I can't hear.
Oh, good. She's just unhappy with something. I'm not sure what. Maybe the milk wasn't at the right temperature or something. I'm not entirely sure. But
do you want to go and check?
Oh, no, that's fine. No. Yes, that's fine. That's not my responsibility at this point in time. So we're good. Bless my wife. So moving on. So another title that's coming out in 4K Ultra HD. Now, this one is coming out, I think this one's coming out October 8th. I really wish I'd written this one down, the date-wise. I think it's because I was excited for it. And then when I saw what it was, I was really sort of underwhelmed with what we're getting. It's the absolute classic, The Graduate. What a fantastic film. Like, the amount of times I've upgraded this film from video to DVD to Blu-ray to, from DVD to special edition DVD to Blu-ray to the Criterion to the Studio Canal one. The Studio Canal one actually is better.
It's Mike Nichols. Is Mike Nichols The Graduate?
Mike Nichols.
Yeah. Because I heard that he pulled a Caligula on this, And after the actors went home, he brought in some porn actors, and they did a whole bunch of hardcore stuff that then got cut into a very like that has never seen the light of day,
What?
but
That
like a
sounds
MILF,
amazing.
like a MILF version of
That's phenomenal.
of The Graduate.
Is this a legit urban
This
legend
is
that I've just kind of missed? This is
it's
fantastic. Oh
100%.
wow.
It's 100%
Well,
legit
look.
in here.
Well, I could probably skip. No, okay, yeah. I was going to say maybe I'll skip this release in hope that version will
Just
finally
wait for the
Yeah,
hardcore version. Yeah,
I want
the
that. I want
the
that to
Dustin
happen.
Hoffman impersonator is spot on.
And God, he's like a bloody horse. I tell
He's
you
like
what,
he's like a
for a
tripod.
little guy,
Yeah.
he's a really big guy. But yeah, The Graduates. So the local release really underwhelming because Studio Canal have put out a fantastic edition in the UK, even in the standard release, the 4K and Blu-ray. It's got 3 commentary tracks on the 4K, and then the Blu-ray's got all the archival extras, which were huge as it were. Now this 4K release, it's coming out locally. The decision's been made to only do the 4K disc, no Blu-ray. So you only get the commentary tracks. You don't get any of those archival special features. So if you own the Blu-ray, by all means upgrade, but hold on to this Blu-ray and just, make it your own little bundle, or just pick up the UK version so you can get, because I mean, The Graduate is the kind of film that deserves for you to watch the special feature content. You just don't
Yeah.
dip into The Graduate and let it go. You're either going to listen to the soundtrack for a week after watching the film, or you're going to watch some of those special features. But yes, moving on, Ben, there's not much more coming out this month except for maybe a handful of new to 4K releases, 2 of which have been out overseas for ages, but they're finally making their way to 4K locally, and that's John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, a classic.
Lovely.
Unfortunately, only 4K, no Blu-ray, so you don't get all the special feature content. You get some, but not all of it. And then another one that's making its way to locally that hasn't been. Well, actually, this one's just got released in the US, I should say. It's been out in the UK for a little while, but that's because 88 Films did a really nice edition of it. But American Pie is coming out on 4K locally, and I haven't been able to confirm it 100%. From what I gather, we are only getting the 4K of this. We're not getting the Blu-ray, which means we don't get all the legacy special features, including like a 3-hour documentary. So you'll basically get the commentary track, and that's really it. But it has got the uncut version of the film, and I believe the theatrical cut as well. But 2 titles that are coming out on 4K locally, pretty much in line with their US releases. Clue's coming out in 4K. Now this one has come out in the States before through Screen Factory, but Paramount are putting it out in the UK, in the US. On 4K. I don't even know how that works, to be honest. So strange. The Screen Factory's put the 4K out only maybe 2 years ago, and now Paramount's releasing on 4K also in the US with none of the special features.
In my experience, the studios, even when they've licensed a title, seem to think that it doesn't count for them putting out stuff.
Yeah,
like they can license it to you, and no one else, none of the other boutiques can put it out. But if they want to put it out, they're going to do it.
Just put it.
And what are you going to do about it? Yeah.
And more than likely, it's going to be an inferior version of it. Let's face it. But there's a very good chance also it might be half the price as well. Because yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Clue's coming out, and The Black Phone. So actually, The Black Phone's been out forever and a day in the US and the UK, but that one's coming out locally, obviously to tie in the release with Black Phone 2.
I'm looking forward to both of those films.
Yeah, I got mixed feelings on The Black Phone too. I don't know what to expect from that. Look, I was a little underwhelmed by the trailer and the premise of, now it's going to become kind of like this Nightmare on Elm Street kind of. The grab is going to become Freddy Krueger. But look, I think it's probably the best for me to go in because I love that original Black Phone. So if I go in with no or very minimal expectations, and I could be blown away by Black Phone 2. So I guess I'll just
I haven't done any research on it. I'm going to go in blind.
That's it. I've read none of the reviews. I haven't even read the synopsis. I literally only saw the trailer. And I think that was because I actually had avoided it because I'd seen the teaser, which gave little away, but then I avoided the trailer. But then, of course, they played it before I went to see something recently. No way to escape, and I'm like, oh.
I'm sure in the trailer for Black Phone 2, they've done that time-honored trope where they've just cut in a whole bunch of scenes from other films, so not to give away any spoilers.
That's it. We'll spoil every other movie you've ever seen, like Evil Dead Rise, but we won't spoil a second of Black Phone 2 for you. Yeah, God, the time-honored technique, yes. Yeah, it is the master filmmakers that do that. Now, there's one last release I will mention. Now, there is a very slight chance of hope still in me that maybe early next month, when I come back onto the show again and talk about what's coming out for November, that I might even have a sample of this to talk about. But we'll just keep our fingers crossed. But it's Via Vision and Imprint's release of the Halloween 1 to 5 set that's coming out in the Jack-O-Lantern. They've increased the run. Originally, I think it was only going to be like 1,000 units, and now they've increased to 2,000. So that increases my chances of potentially getting a review copy of this. I really hope I do. I really do, because it looks magnificent.
I've seen there was a bit of a backlash online about them adding another 1,000 units. You're like, come on, man.
I couldn't understand. There's so many people that were like, oh, well, now that means it's not going to be worth as much because it was going to be numbered out of 1,000, but now it's going to be numbered out of 2,000. And I was thinking, well, what are you buying it for? Are you buying it as an investment opportunity? You're buying it because you really want it? And I mean, honestly, the difference between 1,000 and 2,000 isn't
not that much.
When if you're looking to resell it, just wait a couple extra months and it will be worth whatever it was going to be worth. If it was half the print run, Yeah, I know. People were getting really sort of upset about it, and I was thinking, you've got so
has it changed the content? No, not at all.
Exactly.
It's still
100%. 100%. I mean, the only thing they could have possibly done, that Imprint could have done, is gone, we're increasing the print run, which obviously means that the costs are coming down because, we've got obviously manufacturing costs, but, we've already paid, say, for the license and the content. Is they could have added one more interview. I don't know where or with who, because this thing is stacked.
No, they could have just done they could have done the umbrella trick and just slightly changed the color of the font somewhere on one of the back, snips or something.
Totally. Or they could have enlisted someone to do a video essay talking about something, and that person could have been me, and I could have got a contributor copy, and I could be showing this to you at the end of the month. But no, look, this release is nothing short of astounding, and if you are looking to get this release, I probably would lock it in soon, because I honestly don't know if these things are going to be around by the end of the month. And as we get closer to Halloween, people are probably going to get a little bit more itchy for it, and it's going to sell completely through.
I tell you, I was around at a mate's place a couple of weeks ago, and he had bought the keep.
Oh, the cape,
the cape,
that looks amazing.
That is an impressive. Like, Imprint do not fuck around with these box sets.
No,
like the weight of it was phenomenal. Like barely, it was like holding my junk, because I could barely hold it in one hand.
Yeah,
it was.
I heard that I don't know if I'm correct. I think I read that maybe it weighed about 6.5 kilo or something, which sounds like a nightmare to ship overseas. If I was working in their shipping department, or if I was paying for it to be imported to another country.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I saw it at JB. They obviously had it, but they had it on behind the counter there, and it just dwarfed it. That's where they seem to keep the steel books and that, obviously, so they don't get stolen or dented or whatever on the shop floor. But that thing dwarfed everything around it. It was gigantic. It was amazing. It actually looked like a house of worship, because it's the cross, and it was right at the back of it.
It looks amazing. Look, at first I wasn't going to buy it because I've got the Vinegar Syndrome release, and now I regret that decision. And now I'm even thinking I got to get that Never Ending Story. And the June with the sand, like,
I don't know about the June, but the June does look impressive as well.
That's my preferred version.
I saw that at JV behind the counter, and they sometimes put like cheaper sort of items like along the rails of JB. They're impulse buys, they call them. So you go, oh, maybe I will get that Vanessa Amorosi 20th anniversary edition of Absolutely Everybody, or whatever the album was called, Shine, I think it might have been called. I'm gonna grab that. But then they've got like the $150 or $200 box set behind the counter, and you're looking and you go 20% off at the moment. That would bring it down to 160.
Yeah.
How do I do it? How do I do it? And that's the position I find myself in. Last week, Ben, because there was a JB sale, 20% off sale that ran, and obviously the keep is out, and I was like, well, that brings it down to 159. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I don't even love the cape. Like, I think, I have a soft spot for it growing up with it. But yeah, that edition is just something to behold.
But, like, it is just like I was, I'd seen the images and stuff. I was pretty, like, oh, it's pretty special, but I've got it.
Yeah.
When I actually got to hold it and take it out, to take all the bits out and see all of the work that had gone into it and the quality of it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
No, I know. And it's
worth
funny
it.
because the Dark Sky did Texas Chainsaw in the US last year for its 50th anniversary, and they did it in a chainsaw and that. And it was really expensive. And admittedly, there's a lot of content, but the actual chainsaw itself was so gimmicky and crappy, and people had pre-ordered it, received it, and was so underwhelmed. So it's kind of like the opposite of that, because you always set yourself up for a bit of disappointment. It can't be as good as that burger looked in the commercial. It can't be, because I've been to Hungry Jack's and McDonald's and been served that burger, and it's never looked like that. So yeah, it's always a pleasant surprise to see. So no doubt this thing is going to look amazing. And here's the thing. I'm not even going to be able to be tempted in store, because I saw JB's listing and it's only going to be online, because obviously not going to be enough units to go around. And I guess it's an expensive item to keep on a store shelf. So yeah, I can't even see it in person.
Let's just hope their packaging team at JB are as good as the imprint packaging team, because
100%.
I've received my fair share of packages from JB Hi-Fi, and let's just say they haven't been as fantastic as I would have expected them to be.
They've gone surface mail. It's like an expensive steel book. I've still paid like $5 postage or whatever, and they've sent it in like the flimsy mailer, and I'm like, oh, this thing, how's it even made it? I don't know.
It's like, why is there a tire track over this cardboard box?
That's how most of my Amazons come, though. If they don't come with a tire track, I think it's some sort of scam.
Yeah,
because I'm like, this castle can't be right. This is someone's dropped it out the front. And they're watching. This is casing my house.
This is a return. Don't scan
the QR code.
Yeah, this is a return. Exactly. This is a return that you've repackaged up because the packaging is too good for Amazon.
Yeah, totally. To be first time around. Anyway, Benjamin, that is it for me for this month. It's a staggering month of release. It's been a staggering conversation. We haven't had Glenn here to cut us short. He's allowed complete free reign, and he's going to be regretting that when it comes time to squeeze this segment into the show.
Yeah, I'm glad that is his problem.
That's not our responsibility. Anyway, I'll see you at Monster Fest, Ben. So until next time, stay physical.
It's Terrific TV Tuesday, the only Tuesday TV segment that drops on a Monday.
Well, it's my favorite part of the week, Glenn.
Yes, it is.
Terrific TV Tuesday. And I have I'm not sure what you've brought, because you always bring something different to this segment, but I got a banger this week, like a weird banger. I jumped on the old Tubi this week.
Okay.
And I watched this show. I watched like 2 or 3 seasons of it, called The Lesbian Homie.
Firstly, amazing. Secondly, how the fuck are you finding time for this? Like, you just plowed through all of Downton Abbey, for fuck's sake.
This week was a real shit show, let me tell you. The amount of stuff I watched this week. But the Lesbian Home, the episodes are only 30 minutes, so it's a nice, tight thing.
That's
but
good.
It's this... I don't know what network it is. I don't know who created this show, but there is a surprising amount of love for it on the internet.
The Lifestyle Network?
It's basically about this guy who he's a black guy, and he's got these friends. One of them is a lesbian, like a butch lesbian.
Yeah.
And she is talking to her friends, and it comes up in conversation that she's never slept with a man.
Okay.
Like, she's like, the other ones are like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you know you're gay if you've never slept with a man? Like, we all, we figured it out in high school. We smashed with guys. They use the word smash a lot. And that's how I knew that I was gay. And so she kind of gets it. It becomes like a thing. So then she gets this guy, whose name now escapes me, the main guy in the show.
Yeah.
And so she like, come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
But he's not let her touch her.
Oh, God.
They get into bed and they spoon, and she just pulls her
Pants
boy
down?
shorts down,
Yeah.
and that's it. What she doesn't take into account is that his cock is the size of a baby's arm, and she fucking loves it. So that she's telling her friends, this is not, the show is not in any way pornographic. It's not anything like that. So she goes back and tells her lesbian friends. Next thing you know, they're all knocking on his door. But then she gets... So then the main friend... But the main friend starts getting jealous.
Yeah.
And the guy actually starts, kind of getting into her. Like, her name's E. And he kind of develops a thing for her. And to the point where, like, she cuts a hole in her... She wears boy shorts. She cuts a hole in it. So he can just slide in. And so then even when he goes out with regular women, that's what he wants to do. And they all think that means he's gay because he wants to cut a hole in men's. It's this so bizarre. But
wow. What country is it from?
It's American.
Okay.
It's American. And then, so that's the kind of first season. And then she leaves after they kind of, this thing happens. And it kind of happens again with this other woman that he doesn't know is gay because she hasn't come out to her family and she wants him to pretend to be her boyfriend.
I'm down for this.
But then it is amazing. Like it is a lot of fun. It's a great show. It's incredibly like low production values, but still entertaining as hell. I can't recommend it enough.
Surely she's used a dildo, right? So she kind of knows what she's got.
Know, yeah.
She should know what to expect.
But like, because they can tell because she turns up the next day and they're like, "Why are you switching your hip?" She's like, "What do you mean? I didn't switch my hip. I was just playing basketball." He goes, "No." And then the one who kind of suggests the whole thing figures it out, and they're like, "Well, how big was it?" And she's like, "I don't know." Holds it up, and they all turn up. And they turn up at his door the next day. They're all like, "So."
All right. Completely ignorant question that'll probably get us cancelled. Do you think lesbians feel guilty for using dildos?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a question for a lesbian.
Do you feel like a real lesbian if you're using a dildo?
So. I think that's the shape that happens to hit the spot, as they say.
As long as it's strapped onto another bird?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Just like whatever.
But they are simulating a very hetero thing.
That's right. I think that at the end of the day, the show kind of shows that straight and gay doesn't mean
well,
that
we
much.
know that. We know that. But hey, lesbians, if you're listening and watching, let us know. The more lesbian friends we have, the better.
Or, just subscribe to Tubi. It's free.
Yeah.
And watch the lesbian homie.
My mind went in a different direction. Okay. I really wish you'd let me go first, because how do I top that? How do I possibly top that? I know that you love a good British murder mystery.
I do love a good British murder mystery.
Whereas I love a good Australian murder mystery.
You do love a good Australian murder
mystery.
So
I dove into the brand new series of Mystery Road Origin, which has just landed. I enjoyed the last season. And Mystery Road Origin, well, firstly, let's back it up. There are the two movies, Mystery Road and Goldstone, which are, great. They're modern neo-noir kind of movies.
When did Mystery Road come out? I think it's somewhere around 2013.
Yeah, it is. I think
because I was tempted. I was like, "Ooh, do I put this on my list for you?"
It is around about that time.
Yeah.
So those two movies came out. I didn't enjoy the second one very much.
I haven't seen the second
Great
one.
character though. And so then they did two series on ABC.
Is it Boney? Is it the Boney character? Is that
Boney? No, it's Jay Swan is the name of the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not Boney.
So then they did the TV series with Aaron Peterson?
Aaron Peterson.
He came back and who was it? Judy Davis came back. Or not came back. She was the co-star. And so they got two great series out of it. They were really good stories. Then they did two more series, which was Mystery Road Origin, which is a prequel, and it goes back to his early days. And it's Mark Cole-Smith plays the character.
Okay.
He's fantastic too. I love this guy. So the first series of Origin was good. Second one just dropped. It's really good. At first, it starts off a little bit flimsy. He plays the young version of the other.
Is it? So when's it set?
This one's in the year 2000. Okay. And this is the interesting thing, because I feel like the timelines are starting to catch up, and you just kind of have to suspend disbelief that it's the same character, because I think at the age that Mark Cole-Smith is now is probably close to the age that Aaron Peterson was doing Mystery Road.
Yeah, because admittedly, I don't think I looked that different from 2000 to 2013. 2015 aged dramatically.
But I tell you what, Smith has the personality down pat. Like he really sort of, not only is it an imitation or a mimic of Aaron Peterson, it's just a really good character unto itself. What I love about this show is that it attempts to explain his whole personality in the original film, because he's an alcoholic and he's got your favorite. He's got some trauma, right? Trauma. Yeah. This show, rather than having all that, it just explains what those things are. why he became the man he was. So that's what I like about it. The mystery itself is great. He goes back to his wife's hometown, and there, of course, you got missing children, investigating that. Small town mysteries like the British ones are all the same. It's a whole network of people that everyone's a red herring at some point in time, but it's just solid, and the outcome is not what you would expect it to be. And what I love about this too is that it can have a grim outcome because that will explain how he became who he is. Right. But you can't have a happy ending every time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not going to be, damaged.
He won't be damaged. Yeah.
So
do you have to have seen the movies to watch the TV series?
You don't particularly.
Lovely.
You could just start the first season 3, which is the first origin, and do that. I would recommend watching the movies first because just that little bit of added context makes a big difference. But yeah, it's quality. I really like it. It's kind of like watching a movie, just in 8 episodes.
Wonderful. Yeah.
There you go. Now's the time for the interview, Ben.
It certainly is.
Ben Leonberg. Don't know how this interview went. We haven't recorded it yet. Pull that curtain back, have a little look, and we're doing it tomorrow.
So, fingers crossed.
You can be the judge. Let us know how that went. But good boy, we can talk about that. This is a new horror film, all from the perspective of a dog. And possibly the most adorable fucking dog I've ever seen on camera. The horror was irrelevant, because I was so busy watching the performance of this dog, which is a performance. Like, if they had awards, this dog would win them all. And we'll get into it when we talk to him about how long it took to get a performance out of the dog. But geez, what did you think of this film?
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm so used to having a dog and having hardwood floors, so that noise that he makes as he's scrambling around the house, it was just like
it was reality.
Every time it happened, I was looking around for my dog.
And look, there will be a lot of people that are apprehensive about going into a movie like this because they want to know, does the dog get injured or harmed? I don't think it's a spoiler to say the dog comes out unscathed.
Yeah, the dog is fine.
That should be a selling point, so don't stress about that. But the horror that happens, around the dog, very suspenseful, and I think it works because it's from a new perspective that we haven't seen. Anyway, let's...
Because you barely even see the guy's face for the majority of the film.
Humans are almost irrelevant.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. It's very, very unique. But let's throw to this interview tomorrow morning and see.
Let's throw it into the future.
Look who's here.
It's very good to meet you, Ben. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for taking time to talk.
Oh, absolute pleasure, mate. You know what? There's a lot of things that I could praise about this movie of yours, but I think Ben and I would agree that the best thing about it is that it's 73 minutes long, and that puts it above most other movies of the year.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it turns out when you make a film that can't be driven by dialogue, even if you hit kind of the classic beats of a haunted house film, taking the dialogue out, making it unfold from the perspective of a dog, really does impact the runtime. And I agree. I think that's the perfect place for this to sit.
Yeah, I think all movies should be 73 minutes. I think anything over that is just self-indulgence.
You got to earn every minute, right?
That's right. Keep it tight. Get the action happening.
And the other great thing about this movie, obviously, the lead star itself, Good Boy doesn't even need to really be a horror movie because I could just watch Indy regardless. Absolutely gorgeous. Did you build this film intentionally around Indy himself, or did you intend to make the movie with another dog first?
No, so Indy is my own dog, and I definitely didn't plan that originally he was going to be the star of the show. I kind of came to it slowly as I was trying to figure out how the story would work, how you would even tell a story from a perspective that is 19 inches off the ground. How do you get a camera that close to a character who doesn't know he's in a movie? I was doing these tests with Indy, again, my own dog, just shooting in my apartment, originally just recreating scenes from The Shining where instead of Danny, wandering up to room 237, it's Indy. investigating an open door. And that kept growing as I was writing the script. I was learning how to work with Indy, what was possible from a dog performance, or at least my own dog's performance. Uh, Flash forward a bit, one of those short films I made got nominated for he was nominated for an acting award, and that kind of sealed the deal. He was the lead from then on.
Were you concerned when you named your dog Indy that you were going to have a child that went into the archaeology field instead of?
Geez, I've honestly, that's the first time anyone's asked me that, and it's the first time I've ever considered it. Look, I think it's a good outcome.
I mean, think of the adventures that child would have.
Exactly, and now he's got a ghost-seeing dog. That's how else could you make Indiana Jones better?
Yeah, that's right.
His dog can see ghosts.
There actually are awards for dogs too. I think there's the Porskers.
The Poskers. I haven't heard that. That's amazing.
Or maybe that was once upon a time, may have been once upon a time an award. And I think there's the Patsies. So I think Indy's got a bright award future ahead of him.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. So talk about just coaxing a performance out of Indy. And do you think by the end of it, Indy was somewhat aware of what was going on?
No, I don't think he knows he was in a movie, but I will say he does know what the camera is now, or at least he knows what my camera is. It got to the point where he did understand that the camera, it coming out, meant he was supposed to do something. The same way that when some dogs see a leash or a tennis ball, they know, oh, something's about to start. It's not as one-to-one as with a tennis ball or a leash, but Indy understood that the camera's presence meant he's supposed to do something. It even got to the point that when we were filming his point of view shots, where he's not in them, he would try and wander into the room to like be there because he thought he was needed, and we would have to like close the door and be like, "Not yet, just a minute, boy." Bring him in just for the times he's of course on camera, which is most of the time. But the first part of your question about how do you coax a performance out of him, the truth is you learn to make a movie around him. I think my favorite parts of his performance, put those in the biggest air quotes possible, because I cannot stress enough, I don't think he knows he's in a movie. It's the moments that feel genuine because he's my dog and I stand in as the human talent. So the way I get out of bed in the morning, every day, and he goes through my legs and we like have pets and belly rubs. We capture that in the movie several times as kind of a indicator of the relationship, and those moments look real and genuine and affectionate because they are. That's Indy, he's my dog, the love is real. So there's things like that. We also filmed in the house we were living in, so that is another way of saying my wife, who's the producer of the film, is a really good sport for letting me transform the house into a haunted house. So, Indy behaves and acts naturally, which I think helps sell his performance and make it feel authentic. And then finally, so much of I think what reads as his performance is just the fact that as a dog, he's so easy to relate to, and his eyes are so expressive that the filmmaking can make you think he's performing when in fact he's just looking off camera. There's several times throughout the film that he'll wander into a room, hear something or notice something, and we get a close up of him looking off camera where in reality I'm going blah, 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 try and get his attention, and there's scary music and there's a point of view shot that shows a dark corner with a shadow moving, and the movie math the audience does says that's scary, therefore the dog must be scared. He's not. He's neutral, and you're projecting emotions onto him, which is kind of a cool lesson in how acting can work sometimes.
100%. And also, like, from a technical point of view, like, that's really impressive. And I'm wondering, with continuity, how you manage to achieve such fluid and smooth continuity when, like, you've got the same moment captured from two different angles, clearly filmed at different times. Like, was the editing process a real challenge?
Yeah, so the editing process was happening as the film was being shot. And thank you for saying that it looks seamless. There are certainly some scenes where the reverse shot, looking one way, looking the other, and then maybe a profile of Indy. There might be weeks, months, or years in between those setups. We filmed for over 3 years, for over 400 days. That was not obviously the goal to shoot things that scattered, but it meant because Indy can't hit exact marks, you can just tell an actor, walk in, stand on this piece of tape, and look at the window. With Indy, it's quite a bit of an X factor of where he's going to land when he comes into a room. So, a standard way to approach a scene would be to start with kind of your widest angle of coverage. You get the action as best you can, and then you actually have to review the footage and pick the take you're going to use for now and forever, because then you adjust all the blocking for that move, and you do further adjustments based on the next shot. So, it's not like the film was edited in camera, which is an old exercise from like VHS and like 8mm days, but it was a little bit like that. It was certainly shot digitally, but there's kind of a lot of analog film practices that were like essential for making the film actually work.
Was Indy upset that he had to keep the same haircut for 3 years?
No, no, hair and makeup was incredibly easy. I mean, I'll also say it's man, to age like a dog. I mean, we shot for 3 years and he doesn't appear to age.
Didn't age
The
out.
most extensive hair and makeup we had to do was there's a moment which always gets a good gasp from the audience of when he disappears and when he shows back up, he's covered in mud, and it's people always go, oh, and if you think about that for just a little bit, you can imagine, is it that hard to get a dog to roll around in mud? And for Indy, the answer is surely no.
3 years. I mean, that's a long time to be living in a film set. Like, did that put you guys out? Like, was it a difficult environment to live in?
I mean, so it was 3 years, and part of the reason is that so the days were very, very short, and you could only film, an hour or two a day. I think the max he would ever go is like 3 hours, and that would be like an extraordinary, things are going perfectly.
Those damn dog unions that stop.
Yes, right.
Just, shooting reasonable hours.
It's really it's dog attention span. Once it's gone, there's no amount of money that can bring it back. It's like trying to get a really little kid to do something. There's a certain point they turn into a pumpkin, and that's the end of the shooting day. But yeah, so it was just the three of us living there. So I did both the directing, I co-wrote the film. I also was the cinematographer, the editor, carpenter, electrician. My wife, who is a scientist, not a filmmaker before this film, which is good because that's another way of saying she's very smart. Produced the film and then also operated camera sometime, frequently played, she and I both played the human characters. Sometimes she played Todd, which if you look very closely, you'll notice that Todd's pants don't always fit exactly right. So it was really fun. It felt kind of like a hobby. Like some people restore like classic cars in their driveway. It feels a little bit like that, except a little more odd, a little more specific. And we chipped away at it just over a period of time.
Just incredible. Were there any other movies that just influenced just the style and the look of the film?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Poltergeist, just probably when I saw it, is something I'm always going back to. I mean, it's also in some ways the origin story of this project, because if you remember, Poltergeist begins with the golden retriever wandering through the house, clearly clued into the haunting before the humans have caught on. That just is kind of like, the dog in a haunted house was like, as a trope was super influential. And I was always looking at movies that had dog actors in them or were focused on dogs to try and kind of suss out how did they get the performance that they got. The one that I always think about and am still in awe of is The Thing. The dog in The Thing who enters the story as, of course, spoilers for The Thing, he's not a dog, and in fact, he is an alien, with no lines of dialogue and no explanation. The audience understands that this dog is wandering around the outpost, casing the joint, and doing subterfuge, which is just like remarkable. And it's all, I mean, John Carpenter's an amazing director, and you're using the same kind of things that we'd like to then use in Good Boy. Just a combination of point of view, objectivity, and then subjectivity to kind of create a performance around an animal that doesn't know he's in a movie.
Yeah, Jesus.
It's an amazing feat, really.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing.
Amazing or very strange, however you want to look at it.
Everything about this one is unique. Like, it's just just to get our minds around it and ask you questions, it's different to the usual tact we take, which is, really exciting. Is it a one and done for you guys? Do you plan to make another movie together?
I don't know if I'll make another movie. I will. I'll say this: my next film will have human actors in it. I'm very committed to that. I'm really looking forward to just everyone on set agreeing with the reality of the premise that we are indeed making a movie. Um, so I think one of the things I've taken from this that I'm really excited to keep exploring is how perspective can be used to tell a story, not necessarily in just a different kind of character, but literally how can the camera's position and the point of view unravel a story in a interesting way. Certainly in Good Boy, figuring out how to write a story that can unfold through a dog's point of view is a challenge, but those challenges are also what makes the movie good. It's kind of like if a very difficult part of making the movie is also its best feature, it's kind of worth it continuing to explore that. So I'm definitely excited to keep doing that in the future.
I wonder how those human actors will respond to.
Oh, probably. Well, look, it's interesting because I teach filmmaking when I'm not making movies, and in directing classes, I usually explain that directing actors is it's having a conversation about let's all get on the same page, and then when you're on the day, directing can kind of come down to, okay, again, faster, slower, bigger, smaller. You can use those little words to kind of make adjustments as long as everyone's on the same page. You can't do any of that with a dog. You can't even tell them faster, smaller, bigger, slower. You just have to trick them into thinking that. So I look forward not having to play psychological mind games to get an actor to perform. That is definitely not my style.
But how cool would it be if you've got Indy as like the new Hitchcock, just making cameos in all the beginnings of all your films? Yeah,
we have a similar thought.
Yes, amazing. Looking forward to it. Look, that's about all the time we have today. I'm sure we could chat with you for a lot longer. It's fantastic to meet you. We love the film. We love Indy. Congratulations and good luck with everything else.
Oh, thank you guys so much. I just gotta say, I love your backgrounds. Ben, is that Society behind you on one of your?
It certainly is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, such a fan. Not enough people talk about Society.
Well, you should jump into our archives. We've got a good 90-minute interview with Brian Usner, and he sings songs about it.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to. I absolutely will check that out. Thank you so much.
2013. McDonald's Australia officially recognized the name Macca's, changing their website and store signage to reflect the will of the people. Now, if they just put that kind of effort into actual customer service, that'd be great.
The year is 2013. I don't know what Ben was doing.
What was I doing in 2013? And shockingly, exactly the same thing I'm doing right now.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong. I certainly was running the video store, but Monster was on my radar. I was starting to rock up to those things, doing a little bit of press for them. I think this is actually around about the time I started FakeShamp.net.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jesus, the years are catching up to us, Ben.
Yeah, the years on the show are going as fast as this year has gone.
In fact, yes, because I'm looking at the top 10, and number 10 is Oz the Great and Powerful, and I remember getting the Blu-ray, and it had the DVD, and it had the flip tray, and it had the Blu-ray, so I could separate those bastards and double my money on rentals. Then we had number 9, Fast and Furious 6. Number 8 is The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. Number 7 is Monsters University. 6 is Gravity. Number 5 is Man of Steel. Number 4, Despicable Me 2. Number 3, Frozen. Number 2, Iron Man 3. And number 1 at the box office that year globally was Hunger Games Catching Fire. Once again, a whole lot of IP in there.
Gravity being the exception, I think.
Gravity and what's Frozen? Frozen was kind of an original Disney film based on the Ice Queen or whatever.
Yeah, that was the start. It was the start of a new franchise, but we didn't know it then.
Yeah, and not only and the start of like that one song that would just shit us for the rest of time.
Let it go.
Don't do
Let
it.
it go.
Don't do it. You're not. No, you're fired.
Back anymore.
We can't be having this, Ben. Stop. I put up with it with my niece.
So I had 2013. So I had one niece that was 3 years old, and I think the second one had just been born. But so the 3-year-old was into it big time.
It's horrible. It's a horrible thing.
And that thing, I got to watch that thing happen where, like when she was 6 and Zoe, the younger one, was 3 and started getting into Frozen, and the 6-year-old going, "Ugh, that's so old."
I mean, what is it with kids these days? You know, Let It Go and fucking we need to talk about Bruno, whatever that fucking song was from Encanto, whatever. Yeah. When I was that age, it was the Funky Gibbon. Yeah. Do the Funky Gibbon.
Oh. The Three-Toed Sloth.
So let's maybe do some horror movies because I neglected it last week. Texas Chainsaw 3D came out in 2013. Warm Bodies, The Last Exorcism 2. Evil Dead remake / reboot / kind of sequel. Lords of Salem, The Purge, Hatchet 3, World War Z, or Z. Insidious 2, Hell Baby, You're Next, The Conjuring, and VHS 2. Pretty good year.
Not a bad year.
Yeah, The Conjuring, another start of a franchise.
Purge, start of a franchise.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, start of another one in the franchise.
Yeah, there's a lot of franchise.
I remember literally going to see Bruce Campbell at Comic-Con in 2005, and at the time he was like, look at everything that's at the cinema at the moment. Remake, part of a franchise.
Yep.
And he was that was like, it ain't gonna change.
And it hasn't.
It hasn't.
No. So some other movies that year. Let's go through the ones that are connected to franchises. So we had Parker. That was sort of a IP that pre-existed, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was actually going to talk about it at the head of the show. There's a new Parker movie.
I think I did read about
the Shane Black
yes.
film that's on Prime.
Yeah.
That just dropped Play Dirty.
I didn't know that was a Parker movie.
And it is because the whole thing about that Parker was it was the first time the character had been allowed to be called Parker.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Porter and
legally,
yeah. The Donald Westlake estate allowed it. This one, Mark Wahlberg plays Porter as well.
Okay, cool. What a Die Hard 5. Oh, what an abomination. I try to watch that at least once a year. Did it just recently.
Yeah. It's your Indiana Jones...
No, it's my In Dreams and my Indiana Jones 5.
5? Yeah, what is it? What's the...
Oh, the Dial of Destiny.
The Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. That one I finally caught on to. Like I managed to like that one, but I haven't.
Another couple of goes for
Die Hard 5. I can't get beyond the opening. Like it's the first 5 minutes. It's just the tone is all wrong, and I just can't do it. Anyhow, we also had Scary Movie 5, Kick-Ass 2, Red 2, Pacific Rim was the start of a franchise. Riddick, which is the third in the franchise, Before Midnight. So many fucking part 2s, like Grown Ups 2.
We need to go back to the 80s where the sequels were cheap cash-ins.
Yeah, when it was diminish returns.
Yeah. And then they could do really weird, cool stuff with them.
Isn't it odd? Like today, like a sequel, like a number 7, will make more bank than the original.
Yeah.
You know, but
because now they figured out finally, which is which was always the shame about the Planet of the Apes movies, was that go big or go home, and the sequels had to be bigger than the last one.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Planet of the Apes era, they just had to be cheaper than the last one.
Yeah, and you know they're getting cheaper when like a science fiction movie set in another universe ends up on Earth.
Yeah.
It's like Neverending Story 3. Well, we'll just happen to be in Vancouver for the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Fuck Fantasia. Some other good movies that came out that year. We had, I like 21 and Over. I thought that was good. Side Effects, Olympus Has Fallen, Mud, Pain and Gain, What Maisie Knew. What else? Kings of Summer, The Heat, White House Down, which was what the companion movie or the copycat movie to Olympus Has Fallen. Captain Phillips, It's the Year of Machete Kills.
I Am the Captain Now.
12 Years a Slave, Ender's Game, Nebraska, Homefront, Out of the Furnace, American Hustle, Wolf of Wall Street. So there's some big ones there towards the end.
I prefer the Tina Fey's title for American Hustle. Explosion at the Wig Factory.
Oh, man, you've pulled that one on me a few times, and I think it's great every time.
I love that gag. It's a great gag.
Some Aussie movies on this particular year. Around the Block, which is the one that Christina Ricci made. She came down and they shot that in Penrith, I think it is. We had Blinder, Felony, Goddess, Mystery Road. We had Patrick. We had Reverse Runner, Tracks, The Turning, and These Final Hours. Saw the trailer for the new... who directed These Final Hours? That was...
Chris Stenders?
No, it was... I hate that I've forgotten his name. I shouldn't have forgotten his name. It's a big deal. Fuck. To the Google.
If only we had devices at our fingertips that could tell us the things.
I know this. I hate, I really, there's a whole lot of embarrassment happening right now. Zach Hilditch.
Zach Hilditch.
Yeah, and These Final Hours is a great movie. Well, the new one which is called We Bury the Dead. With
I've seen the trailer's just dropped. Yeah,
yeah.
As you say.
Umbrella dropped the trailer. It looks fantastic, and it does look like a companion film. Looks like a similar kind of theme.
It's Daisy Ridley's in that one, I think.
End of the world, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Anyhow, there we go. That's the year that was 2013. Let's just pick each other's favourites and get on with it, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to pick yours first.
I don't have very many in this year.
I've only selected 3 for you because I could not work out anything here that you'd
I've only got 3.
And I've listed about 5 or 6 or so for mine. All right, so for you, I've got Pain and Gain.
No.
Bugger. World War Z?
Yes.
Okay.
Got
Do you
it.
say Z or Z?
I say World War Z.
Okay. Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
Okay, that's all I have.
I mean, I love the nudity in Wolf of Wall Street. Don't get me wrong. And I like it. I love it. That scene where he's in the investor center.
Yeah.
Like all the way up until he gets successful. Great movie. Once he becomes successful, I lose interest.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I do enjoy it, but I won't go back to it in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so for me, it was This Is the End.
Of course.
Because any movie where 2 guys get into a fight about where they jerk off on a teddy magazine is a win for me. World War Z and Homefront, which I've watched more than any other Jason Statham movie for unknowable reasons.
Written by Sylvester Stallone, originally going to be Rambo 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 4, one or the other. It was originally a Rambo film. And
A
you
Rambo
watch
film.
that with
Knowing
watch
that,
it with
yeah.
that in mind, and it's
It does add a lot more to it. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so your turn to guess mine.
So, this is going to be weird. Movie 43.
No.
21 and over.
No.
Oz the Great and Powerful.
No. Although I'm obsessed with Wizard of Oz.
Evil Dead.
No.
And Before Midnight.
No.
No, I didn't get one.
Before Sunset's my favourite in that trilogy.
Right.
So how about Homefront?
The one I just said.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's in my top 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Kings of Summer,
Okay.
which I adore. My wife and I watched it again a month ago. And
I've
first
never
time for
seen
her, and she was in hysterics. It's great. It's great. Mud,
Oh, okay.
Matthew McConaughey. The Way Back.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
It's a great movie. These Final Hours. And The Spectacular Now, which is a movie with Miles Teller. Just something about that one.
Yeah, I've got that. It was in my watch list of movies to watch for this year. And I
Yeah.
was like, look, because I've been talking about Downton so much, I can't I can't just do a rom-com.
No, but I mean, you could. But it is, it really took me by surprise on the quality of that film. It's really good.
I mean, look, Miles Teller, very few people rock a rom-com like Miles Teller can. There's a one coming up next year that's on my list, giving it away. But even in that one with Zac Efron that he does, I think he steals the show.
Yep.
In that.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's great. He's got. I saw last week the trailer for his new one dropped, which I can't remember the name of. But it takes place in the afterlife. It's a rom-com in the afterlife. Looks really, really fun.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Awesome.
But it does kind of have a little hint of Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey about it.
Okay.
And that's tanked. I don't know if you know, that is tanked big time. No matter how much we enjoyed it, it's fucking...
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it, that it's not... These days, it's a streaming movie.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is I reckon the studio are nervous about this one with Miles Teller
right.
because it kind of has that feel about
feel
it.
to it.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Big Bold Beautiful Journey, I think is like a streamer.
Yeah, for
these
sure.
days.
For sure.
That's
it.
Yep, that's it.
Welcome to Bonehead Weekly Fun Size. This week, we're doing 2013, the year that produced my Chevy Silverado.
I was a year away from being a father. That's all I can tell you about 2013.
One of the most fun experiences I had in the theater, which is what I'm trying to go with on a lot of these picks, is This Is the End. It just attacks everything. It attacks the structure of how movies are made, right? Because it'll just, the exorcism of Jody, blah, 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 blah. It just cuts to that. And it doesn't really follow any kind of basic narrative that we all kind of agree on when it comes to films. And it attacks stardom. It attacks the stereotypes of these famous stars. I just had a good time. It is Machiavellian. Do you think, James, would be?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of Channing Tatum's top 3 roles, in my opinion, just because how much he buys into it.
Yeah, it's another example of, boy, we sure don't make these movies anymore.
I would say that's That's the movie that made me a Danny McBride fan.
I'll continue that trend because I was struggling with this year, and this one's one that came into my mind, and then Chad reminded me of it again. I was like, yeah, this is probably it. It would probably be the World's End. Speaking of movies about the end of the world, The World's End is probably the most serious of the Cornetto trilogy, the Simon Pegg.
That's another. I forgot. I didn't realize it came out the same year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I went and saw both in theaters. And it was, it's a little bit more serious. It's a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But it is still just a lot of fun. It's you could argue it's a road picture because they're just trying to travel back through all the bars, and every character has a unique or buried reason for why they're even agreeing to do what they tried to do when they were younger. And so it's a fun movie.
Okay, I know.
With heavy things.
Shaun of the Dead is probably the best out of the three. I'm not going to argue. It's one of probably the best horror comedy with American Werewolf in London ever made. That being said, my pick of me identifying with characters the most is The World's End.
So I was struggling between two movies. I know what Joe's honorable mention is going to be, so I'm going to skip that one because it's really tough between two films, and I'm going to go with The Young and Prodigious T.S. Spivet as my favorite movie of 2013.
Never saw it.
It's really good. It's directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. It's one of his few full American films. It's about a little boy who's actually a genius. He has a huge IQ, and it's about him traveling to the Smithsonian Institution to receive an award where nobody knows he's a kid, and he's running away. He actually has to run away from home and rides on a train. And I am doing a very horrible description of this film because I don't want to ruin. There are a lot of emotional moments in the film, as well as quite a bit of comedy. I highly recommend The Young and Prodigious T.S. Spivet.
Okay, honorable mentions. My honorable mention is About Time, Richard Curtis. I'm always a fan, except for Notting Hill. I'm a fan of all of his work. I know that it doesn't matter. I don't care that it's saccharine sweet. And About Time is another story. It's really just it's a story about a father and a son.
Yeah, I got emotional. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a story about a father and a son. It's not really about his love affair with his wife. It's about him and his dad. Any other honorable mentions?
I'm going to go with a dark horse, and it's not a great movie, but I watched it again, and I was like, you know what? I'm just glad this movie exists, and nobody's going to agree with me on this. Grudge Match. Grudge Match.
Fun with it.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro, and of course Ireland Basinger Baldwin. Wonder where she came from. Basinger. Anyway, no, it is really just. And it actually has a little bit of pathos in it. It has a little bit of, and of course, growing up in the 80s, who didn't want to see, Raging Bull meets Rocky? And we didn't exactly get it, but I just like the fact the movie exists. So there you go. That's my honorable mention.
All right, Chad.
None. It was about time. So
this
I'm
is
good.
About time, damn it. This has been Bonehead Weekly.
Fucking hell.
Ben doesn't know what he's doing.
I really let the team down there.
What did you do? Just fucking Thunderbird your way through it.
I was just still thinking about my lesbian homie. What? We're going to smash or what?
It's movie battle time. Our movie battle this week, I think you chose.
Yes.
All right, what are we doing?
So we've got Stickmen, the New Zealand film from 2001, directed by Hamish Rothwell. Written by Nick Ward, starring Robbie Magasiva, Scott Wills, and Simone Kessel, and ex-Thorpe's Angel, versus Poolhall Junkies.
Yep.
Which I didn't write down the year that came out, but it's around the same time.
Directed by... It's like 2002, I think, something like that.
Directed by Mars Callahan, written by Mars Callahan and Chris Corso, who wrote Rollerblade Warriors, amongst other things. Starring Mars Callahan, Christopher Walken, Alison Eastwood, Ches Palmatieri, Ricky Schroeder, Michael Rosenbaum, Anson Mount, Rod Steiger, Glenn Plummer, Ernie Reyes Jr. Everyone's in this film.
It is fucking loaded, the cast in this one. Like, absolutely. And it is, for all intent and purposes, it is a modern, contemporary version of The Hustler.
Yeah.
You know, if you like The Hustler, you'll probably like this.
But it's so much, it is so much one of those movies about a, insert sport here.
Yeah.
Or dodgy thing.
To me, this battle is an interesting one. Like, obviously, the connection is, the theme, the pool and the billiards and all that kind of stuff. But it is no contest for me. Like, Poolhall Junkies is that good. I went into this thinking, I vaguely remember it as like a DTV movie and a bit like Suicide Kings. It's like, it's okay. Wow. Boy, did I love everything about this. Like, I'm watching it. Mars Callahan, great. Like, at first he's a bit annoying. He's kind of got he reminded me of someone else I couldn't pick it.
The whole thing about it is that he's written it for himself.
Yeah. And
he's kind of playing a person.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
But because I think the only thing I'd ever seen him in prior to this, and since this, I think, is as a sound technician in That Thing You Do. That's it. And you're like, where did this guy come from? It's just him and his like walking haircut.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know what? He actually did direct that Lost movie that he co-directed with Scott Spiegel. Was it Spring Break '83? I think it's called.
Oh,
it's never been released, but they made it.
Oh fuck! Now he's dead too.
Yeah,
I got to check this out. I tried to find him on Instagram because I was like, it'd be a great surprise if I could get Mars Callahan to say something.
God, yeah,
for the show.
That'd be great.
Because I've loved. Yeah, look, it was a bit unfair to Stickmen, which I had never seen, but it was. A big part of this was the excuse to force me to watch it because I've been wanting to watch it since 2001.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I've met Robbie Magasiva and Scott Wills when we released Low Down Dirty Criminals, which they're both in. And he's now in some Hawaiian lifeguard TV show, which is fucking great.
Yeah, right.
By the way. And no detraction from Stickmen. I actually enjoyed it despite the fact that it is a kind of New Zealand low budget lock, stock, and two smoking barrels, which is what you kind of pointed out.
My problem with Stickmen was just style over substance, but it was that 90s style over substance where everything's overlit and sort of shaky and
and the criminal
kinetic.
But it is for me. It's that whole movie is set in the Collingwood and Carlton that I remember as a late mid to late teen. Early 20s kind of thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. But, look, I've been a Poolhall Junkies stan since day one. A friend of mine put me onto it when he was working at the video store. He's like, you got to see this. And we've been quoting it to each other ever since.
There are more N-bombs in this than a Spike Lee joint.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get over that to begin with. Like, wow. Like, particularly one scene is over and over and over and over.
Oh, they do it at the start.
Yeah.
So here's my... No.
The white guy gets away with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't now. I did like Christopher Walken's great in this because he's not the usual Christopher Walken, right?
No,
he's
great.
He's against type in this.
But I don't think I want to talk to someone who notices a crease in my pants. I said a crease on your pants.
The chalk line. Oh, my favorite line of his though is like when he goes, "I'm going outside to get some smog."
Yeah. Yeah, which really felt like an ADR line. It was great. But even his whole speech, but he's like at the end when he does he goes, this is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
I lose 140 grand, I get another 140 grand.
It is the great bluff call of like history.
Yeah.
Like I really, really like that. The finale of this is really great. Like it does hold a candle to The Hustler. Like because the hustles in this are really clever. Even like the little hustles at the start with the glasses and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's it. It's sometimes the old hustles are the best hustles.
Yeah, that's right.
Because like everyone's expecting such a complicated thing, and then they forget about the...
Yep, and the final hustle's great. Yeah, no, really good. And that showdown with Chaz and Christopher Walken is so delicious. Like it is really good. And I wish this movie had a bigger cult following. You know, maybe a little bit more money and it would have just elevated it that little bit. Because it does, because it's all set in a pool hall. It's not the production value.
I'm gonna email the guys at Imprint because it hasn't come out on Blu-ray as far as I know.
No, that's right.
It's like I bought the DVD import. I don't even know if it got an Australian release at all. Like it did. No,
it did. But
VHS release.
It got it like through like Force or something like that. Yeah, or the 21st Century, or
yeah, one of those Rockvale type companies.
Yeah.
But because it's so good. Like, yeah, I had to send you a copy because it's incredibly hard to find.
Yeah, so go do your homework and try and find that.
You just got to jump on the old eBay and buy the DVD.
That's what I would have done if I had more time. Yeah, for sure. I may still do that. Or if you can get onto Imprint and get them to release it on at least Blu-ray, I'd be behind that for sure. Also, I figured out where they must have got the money for this movie. Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Like, how odd is it that he's wearing a Calvin Klein T-shirt?
Yeah.
So prominently. Weird. And also, I'll have to say, like, and it's kind of purposeful, but the girlfriend shit me in this. She kept jumping to conclusions.
Oh, Alison Eastwood.
Yeah, like everything. Like she'd crack the shits and she'd break it off, and it's like every single thing she did was jump into conclusions.
To conclusions about him, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's proved wrong every time.
Yeah. But look, around this time, I had a major crush for Alison Eastwood.
Of course you did.
Just like
you had a whole fucking drawer full of them, mate.
Yeah, I had crushes on a lot of women.
Still do.
Yeah.
You're the Stickman.
I'm there.
Very good. There you go. You didn't let the team down after all.
Yeah, I like to give you a good screen grab to use on the.
It's the same every time, though.
Yeah. I only have 3 facial expressions.
Yeah. In fact, this is the moment where we should probably do something to the camera. There you go. Do that again. All right. There we go. Now we've got something for the banner. Excellent. Shit. Let's do some recommendations and wrap this baby up.
Alrighty.
I'll go first.
Sure.
There was a movie in 2022 that everybody was raving about, and it made the list of some people's, top 10 of the year, and I never got around to it, but I finally did. It's called Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh, no, still haven't seen this.
Wow. Like, I don't even think you know what you're in for when you watch this one. Like, it is so unique and different to anything I've seen in a long time. Best way I could think to describe it, it's a micro-budget slapstick movie, right? But if you can think of Cannibal the Musical crossed with Dr. Plonk and mixed with like Looney Tunes, like Coyote Roadrunner cartoons, that is it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so unique, so creative, very funny, probably overstays its welcome. It is a bit too long. But geez, like I wish I'd seen it with an audience because I was laughing out loud on the couch. I can only imagine seeing it,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like so many of the effects are just like paper cutouts over film, like and just yeah, really, really shonky. And the beavers and the rabbits in the film are just people in costumes and and it's all about like a lumberjack that's trying to catch the beavers, or he's in a feud with the beavers that keep eating the trees, and he's trying to catch fish, and there's no actual narrative to it other than like this guy is just like a klutz and keeps falling into the pond, and
so it's like the Plank type.
Yeah. It's so dumb. Dumbest movie I've seen in years. But if you loved Cannibal the Musical, that's probably the best comparison in that it's kind of got that ye oldie sort of, frontier kind of feel about it. Although it's much cheaper than that. Like, yeah, I think they would have. I imagine in my mind they produced this for $1,000, but I think the budget was something like 10,000 when post was bought into it and post production, all that kind of stuff. But that's it. It's my recommendation. There's not much else to say other than just slapstick, dumb, fun comedy.
Okay, fantastic. I have to check it out.
Yeah. What about you?
Look, I, as I want to do, went to the year 2013 for my inspiration for my rapid fire recommendation, and I chose Horns.
Oh, yeah, the Daniel Radcliffe movie.
Daniel Radcliffe movie. Now, the reason I really wanted to see this is because a friend of mine, when we were over at Fantastic Fest in, it probably would have been 2013, Elijah Wood was there, and she, at the closing party, was a little tipsy, went up to Elijah Wood and said, "Oh man, because Horns had
loved you in Horns,
loved you in Horns."
Oh my god!
And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And then after, when she came back, I was like, "He wasn't in Horns." It's Daniel Radcliffe, and she's like, oh, she was mortified, like ruined the rest of the night for her. Hilarious.
And I mean, this is what, Alexandra Aja?
It is directed by Alexandra Aja, based on a novel by Joe Hill, son of Stephen King.
Yep.
Stars Daniel Radcliffe, Juno Temple, Max Minghella, whose film Shell is playing at Monsterfest or has played at Monsterfest. Kelly Garner, James Remar's in it. Kathleen Quinlan. Heather Graham has a lovely cameo. And David Morse also turns up because, of course, David Morse does. And basically, the story is, so Daniel Radcliffe and Juno Temple have been in love since they were kids.
Yeah.
And just as he's about to propose, she kind of turns him down, and then she's murdered. And the entire town that they're in think he killed her. He must have killed her.
Yeah.
All these people have come forward saying that he was the last person to see her. He doesn't remember. He kind of got blackout drunk that night. Right. Doesn't remember. And then I think I can't remember exactly what the turning point is, but at some point something happens and he starts growing horns.
Horns, that's right.
Like devil horns. And
I can't remember. Did he make a pact with the devil?
No. And he basically, when he has the horns, people just tell him things. And he at first doesn't understand why.
When I have the horn, people tell me things. Usually fuck off.
Yeah. But and even though they can see the horns, it doesn't bother them so much, and they just tell him things, and they'll do whatever he says. So then, as he figures it out, he basically starts using this power to find out who really killed.
Yeah, that's right.
His
that's
girlfriend.
Right.
Thoroughly entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. It probably has one ending too many, but even that aside,
from memory, it's shot in a little logging town that's not far from where I lived in Vancouver.
Yeah,
on the road toward the Whistler or something. And I remember watching this, just feeling at home watching this. Like, I just had a really good feel about it.
Yeah, it's quite it's a very wet, cold kind of town,
foresty
where it's set. Forest, it's like the first episode of the X-Files.
Yeah, that's right, or Twilight or something like that.
Yeah, but really cool. Definitely won't disappoint if you.
I love the decisions that Daniel Radcliffe has been making with films.
I have to say that the one, if I was to have a problem with this, it was that Daniel Radcliffe and the guy who plays his brother, fucking just, what's with this fucking front brushed haircut, fucking man child, like fucking hell.
But he's like
I mean, it's very grunge. They're very, but you just dress like a fucking adult.
You can understand why your friend got confused with Elijah Wood, because they've been making the same kind of decisions in movies. Like Daniel Radcliffe, like Swiss Army Man, Guns Akimbo, fucking so many others, and Elijah Wood doing like Come to Daddy and the Bookworm or whatever it's called. They are one and the same. They need to make a movie together to prove they're not the same person.
Yeah, they're like hipster doofuses.
Yeah, that's right. And both came from child acting,
backgrounds. Yeah.
All right, Ben, that's the end of an episode. Let's wrap it up there. Thank you for joining us. GoodMovieMonday.com is where you go and you click the links to our socials. Drop us a comment, give us a like, click the bell, a share, all that kind of stuff. Comments are good.
Yeah.
Lesbians, comment. We want
homie lesbians.
We want to know
lesbian
you.
homies.
That's right. And some Poolhall Junkies. If you love pool, give us some pool movie recommendations. How many are there? There can't be that many.
No, I feel there's like 5. 5 pool
5.
movies.
There's 5.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, what do we got?
There are only 5 pool movies.
Color of Money,
Prove
Stickman, Hustler, Poolhall Junkies, and what's that leave?
What's the last one?
That's for
4.
them.
There are 4 pool movies. Prove me wrong in the comments.
We have an amazing guest next week. Don't miss it. Stick around for that. On socials, we'll announce it on Wednesday. I can't wait for people's reactions to this one. In the meantime, ciao.
Arrivederci.
Sayonara.